What is up, guys? Matthew here, and welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 21 Manager Career Mode with the mighty Boro. And today, arguably, the biggest episode for a while in terms of us chasing the playoffs, because we have Derby County away from home, and then I believe we host Birmingham. No, we don't. We're at Birmingham, dear me. So, two very tough away games. So that's been made even more difficult. So two tough trips. We've got Derby, who are in 10th, and it's quite a significant game because we could practically write Derby out of the playoff race if we can beat them. They are 11 points behind us, so already it's looking a bit difficult for them to catch us, but I guess we can sort of, again, draw another line under another team. If we can beat them today, we can forget about Derby, and then, even if you do want to count Millwall as outsiders, I think if we beat Derby today, we definitely take it down to a three-horse race for 6th at a bare minimum, if you don't already sort of assume it's just us, Birmingham and Blackburn already. But of course, if Derby beat us, then they're only 8 points off us. It then looks a little bit more doable from a Derby point of view. And then, of course, it's the big one, Birmingham City. And depending on the result against Derby, will depend on if we're either fighting to get back in the playoffs or we're fighting to hold off Birmingham from knocking us out. And to be fair, Birmingham's next game is away at Watford. Let me just show you where Watford are in the table. So this game against Derby is a big chance for us, because I'm not saying or assuming that Birmingham will be beaten by Watford, but you've got to assume the likeliness is they probably will be. So we could open up a 5-point gap to Birmingham before we even play them. We beat them, it's then an 8-point gap to Birmingham. Blackburn have Bournemouth. Bournemouth are second. So let me just remind you of how big of a chance this is away at Derby. The two teams chasing us for the playoffs are playing the top two. This could be a game-changing episode for us. If we can somehow get past Derby, beat Birmingham, the gap to both of them could be very significant with only 6 games to go at the end of this episode. So, yeah, no pressure. Let's head to Pride Park, or the iPro, or whatever the hell Derby are calling their stadium these days. So, going back to the tried and tested for this game, apart from that change right there, Akpom got a hat-trick in his last game, deserves to start. As it is for the rest of the team, it's as you were, the back four back together again. Fry's almost fit, but I just want to stick with Tamari and Hall to be reassured of the centre-back pairing that's put us on this incredible run now of, it might be 15, maybe 16 games unbeaten. Everyone else remains the same. We've got our best team ready to go. Pretty much, big game this. Let's head to Derby, whose team, by the way, don't look 100% fit, especially their defenders.
Trained on one man. The breaking story is he'll retire at the end of the season. How about his role today? Stay with us.
Well, Wayne Rooney is retiring at the end of the season.
Hi everyone, it is an absolutely splendid day for football, and we'll fill that gap he's going to leave.
Well, say what you will about Rooney. I never understood why England fans have always been so critical of our own players. In recent history, Wayne Rooney is one of the best players that we've ever produced.
And here's how it looks for Derby County.
And it's quite a shame to see him hanging up his boots at the end of the season.
Very familiar with nowadays.
Yeah, most coaches are adopting this formation. What it does give you is two.
We've seen he's dropped back into a more holding midfield role, which is quite incredible for a guy to do. Obviously, he was a forward his entire career. For him to adapt and prolong his career by dropping deeper and being more of a playmaker, credit to him, really. But, yeah, Derby was his final club, and Wayne Rooney will retire at the end of the season. We're hoping that we're not going to give him any sort of joy in his retirement, being a Derby playoff push. We could all but end that today. Coulson. Roberts. Tavernier's in a bit of space. Maybe we should have played it into Akpom as Tavs.
Rooney.
I mean, he's always been very creative for us, but his finishing recently has been pretty off. Same for Marvin Johnson as well. The wingers haven't really been chipping in as much as they have been. Not that it stopped us scoring goals, to be fair. Here's Jordan Ibe, the man we've been linked with many times. Does not get the better of Hall, who makes his mark.
Crossing possibilities. An attack full of promise.
Played it into the box, and Tomori, who was on loan at Derby under Frank Lampard the season before he got promoted up to Chelsea, making his return to the iPro, whatever Derby are calling the stadium these days, with a good block there. Good counter-attack from us here, though. Bolassi's done really well. And his cross is cleared. Oh dear, that's a very poor header. Clear, and Akpom's jumped the challenge. And that is the sign of a confident striker. Akpom gives us the lead. I thought he might have been brought down there, but he skipped the challenge. Stayed on his feet, which is fair play.
Well, Derek, as we see it again,
And it was just a poor clearance. Tavernier played it to Akpom, who just jumped the challenge, kept his composure.
He has no clue, and he pays the price.
And in the end, it was just a question of, can he put it past the keeper? You'd have to think in his form he would.
Paid off, but the manager knows a lot more has to be done to secure
And
this
Chuba
game.
Akpom has stepped into Fletcher's shoes and made the most of his chance like he did before, and scores again to give us the lead.
So the match is
Very important lead.
And let's go to Alan McAnally, because I believe there's been a goal in the Blackburn game, Alan.
It's a goal for Bournemouth. 29 minutes played.
Big news.
1-0.
Thanks as ever for the
At
update,
Ewood
Alan.
Park, one of the teams chasing us, being Blackburn, have fell behind to Bournemouth.
Possession and patience, the watchwords.
So there's one result going our way, and that's an effort.
Oh, he's missed it!
Oh, goal behind Derek, and he's missed. It's a big miss.
Not sure who it was. Was it Jack Marriott? With the effort there. Near post.
Nathan Byrne.
Oh, and Grant Hall. Well, he's completely missed that, and it's a good job Jed Spence was alert, as Hall completely missed his clearance. And Coulson's just not continued his run, and Savills give the ball back. And we've not been able to get out of our final third for quite a while here.
Christian Bielik. Now with Rooney.
Rooney brought down by Morsey, and this is in Rooney territory.
He's been admonished by the referee. He's now got to walk something of a tightrope.
Yeah, he knows exactly where he stands. Look at the referee, how he's
This
told him
is
up there.
in
No yellow
Rooney
card.
territory.
He knows what the referee's thinking.
Is England's top goal scorer going to mark his retirement in his final season with a free kick? Wayne Rooney stepping up. Wayne Rooney doesn't quite get enough on it.
Technique. Just look at this technique, and he's inches over.
Honestly expected him to do a bit better there. Didn't get enough bend and curve on it. Keeper's kick should be it. So not a good half really in terms of chances and entertainment. We've not created too much compared to our usual standards, but we have got the goal that gives us the lead. And we go into half-time 1-0 up over Derby.
Marriott.
There's Jordan Ibe as Derby have got a couple of men forward here. We need to get bodies back.
Fruitful looking attack.
Good play from Derby this, and what a finish! What a finish by Jack Marriott! That is a thunderous finish into the far corner from absolutely nothing. What a goal!
Well, as we see it again, The 1-2 is so hard to stop.
Lovely 1-2 inside Grant Hall, but from that angle,
he smashes the ball with all he has to beat
to hit it with that much
goalkeeper.
power and
Brilliant
accuracy,
strike.
that is a ferocious finish. And Derby, from nothing really,
Furious, and why not? They've
have
thrown
levelled
this
the
lead
match. It's one each on the hour. What a goal.
On EA TV, it's Middlesbrough taking on Birmingham City.
Blassie
Yeah, it's very easy to
putting
build a case
inside,
for those two teams to
trying
make
to
that
find a
game.
yard.
Commanding goalkeeping.
And does force the save out of the keeper.
This corner bear fruit for them.
Don't feel like we've been as quick and as sharp in this game as we have been. I don't know if I've got a deflection actually. Keeper sort of reacted to it. Both Blackburn and Birmingham are getting beat.
And
So,
firing it into
big
the
chance
area.
for us to
And not
take
an attempt to
advantage,
be
and a big
terribly
chance for
proud of.
Akpom there. Yeah. Had enough time as well to get a good header on it. Couldn't keep it down.
Burn Rovers game. Alan McInally has the news.
It's a third goal for Bournemouth. 65 minutes
Well,
played.
Bournemouth
3-0.
have absolutely battered Blackburn as Akpom tries to backheel it to Saville, who was making a very good run. That could prove to be a huge block. As Derby now look to launch an attack of their own.
Well, he's given us away.
Naib and Byrne were playing some good stuff there, but Coulson reads it. Saville, and now we're on the counter-attack with Tavernier.
Makes his way in field.
Tavernier, great ball to Blassie, and that's a fantastic goal. From back to front. Brilliant football. Capped with a great finish. Counter-attacking football at its finest.
Well, here's the replay, and it's a
Tav
lovely
cut
ball
inside.
into the box. And then
Lovely
just
little
look at the
find.
finish. He does so well to read
And
the back.
Blassie on the
Often
half
he can
volley.
send these into Rosed. I know I did. But
Smacks
he
it
was
into the
perfect
corner.
contact. Stunning goal.
That's one of the most satisfying goals you'll get. In a game where 3 points would be crucial. We're back in the lead to get them.
Well, a dramatic moment
2-1.
near the end, and that might well be the decider. Roberts.
Roberts turning well.
Forward.
Playing in Chuba Akpom. Akpom could finish it, and he does!
In this game, no way.
What a huge goal that could be
He's off celebrating.
in the playoff race. Chuba Akpom makes it 3 and hopefully finishes the game
Well,
off.
here's the goal again, and it's a great
Roberts
ball to
committing
through.
defenders.
Through on goal. Do you
There's
go
the
for
space for
pressure or do you
Akpom,
go
and
for
he just
power?
has to
Well,
finish.
he certainly wasn't messing around, was he? Absolutely smashes it past the keeper. It's a really lovely finish. Well, his players have followed his every command and some. The coach must be delighted.
It looks like we're going to gain 3 points on both Birmingham and Blackburn with a huge win at Derby.
So there it is,
3-1.
the current scoreline here. This time. Chance to play
Is
it
there a
in.
late twist in the tail? Tamori outmuscles Jack Marriott, although the clearance from Spence isn't a good one as they
Dangerous looking
look to
through
play
ball.
over the top again. This time Grant Hall is the one who comes across, punts the ball clear, and it's actually a very good clearance because it's found Akpom. And he can't
Unable
find
to keep the
Blassie,
ball that time.
as I think Derby would need to score now before stoppage time to
Well, the
give
action
us
is
a
going
nervy
continue
finish to
for a
this
while
game.
yet. We will have 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Dwayne Holmes
Well, possibilities in the centre.
can't find a way past Tamori.
Shinnie.
Shinnie
Dwayne Holmes.
back to Holmes. Is this the end of Derby's playoff
And
dreams?
here's Wayne
They're
Rooney.
trying to keep it alive as
Tremendous block.
Marriott's shot again is blocked. We're going to just run the clock down by making some changes. But this will put us 14 points clear of Derby with 7 games to go. This will all but end their chance of the playoffs for another season and make it
Craig Forsyth, and that is that. The referee
a 3-horse race in a game which we knew a win would be crucial, with both of our playoff rivals going up against the top 2. We've delivered when the pressure was on, and this could go down as one of the turning points and one of the most pivotal wins of the entire playoff push. With Birmingham and Blackburn losing, we went to Derby and beat them by 3-1. Huge win. So we've had Akpom in the office, and this is really happy to see. He's happier that we've gave him a run of games after obviously a little bit of a threat from Schubert a couple of episodes back. But I think it was just him trying to, push, just send out a bit of a message that he wanted a chance, and we've granted him that chance, and fair play to him. He's took it, so I'm going to say that I'm proud of him. Could have easily come in and wasted his chance and went back on the bench, and things could have gotten a bit ugly, but Chuba's come in and done his job, and we've done ours. And what that means then, as we will clarify the recent results, something we're going to keep a lot more of a close eye on with the playoff running. Blackburn were beaten 3-0 at home to Bournemouth, and Birmingham likewise were beaten 3-0 away to Watford. And that means that we have a 5-point gap to Birmingham and a 9-point gap to Blackburn with 7 games to go. So I wouldn't say Blackburn are quite out of it, but they might have to start looking over their shoulders, because Stoke City have came out of nowhere and might overtake Blackburn into 9th. So a win over Birmingham here would put us that magic 8 points clear with 6 games to go. Would, I dare say, unless we collapse, would hopefully guarantee us a place in the playoffs. And then maybe we can start looking up a little bit, as Brentford, Forest are only a point ahead of us, although they do all have a game in hand. All the teams in the playoffs have a game in hand over us, and we'll just simulate ahead to see if they did play that game in hand and if they made the most of that game in hand. I think Forest and Norwich do have a midweek game to catch up on, so we'll skip to our next game and see what the table looks like there. So, ahead of the Birmingham game, a game which could be a lot tougher if we weren't in such a comfortable position. Luckily, we've put ourselves in a bit more of a comfortable position. It could all come crashing down if we lose this game. Birmingham are 5 points behind us. A win for them, or a loss for us, more importantly, would put them back within 2 points of us. So a defeat today could be catastrophic for our playoff push. A win, well, could almost cement it. That's how big this game is. As for the teams around us, Brentford have stumbled, to say the very least. They are in 5th, but are only a point ahead of us. They lost at home again to Luton. They lost to Luton, who are just hovering above the relegation zone. So Brentford are potentially in our sights, and we might not be just looking at that final playoff place. If we keep going the way we are, we could definitely be looking a little bit higher, with Forest and Norwich still unsure with them too, as they obviously at this moment in time are they've got a game in hand. I don't know who that's against or when that is, but we'll know a little bit more when they do play that game in hand. But as for us, big game this against Birmingham. I'm not saying it could either make or break our playoff push, but it could go a hell of a long way. Now, this makes no sense to me. There is apparently an international break coming up. I can't see when that is, because there isn't a 2-week gap between games for us at all until the end of the season. Yet there's an international break apparently where Saville and McNair are going away, and because of that, they're unavailable for this game. which is really, really frustrating. Luckily, we're only losing Saville out of this, but he's a key part of our midfield, and McNair would be the one to replace him. So in a game where we want our best team to start, we're going to have to sacrifice Saville and McNair because they're away on international duty, even though they should still be available for us and should only go away after the game. So no idea how that's worked out, but nevertheless, that means that Lewis Wing is going to have to come in central midfield, and then we're going to have to replace both McNair and Saville, who can't, of course, be on the bench either. So we'll have to bring in Johnny Howson, and he can cover centre-back as well. And then Marcus Brown, we'll bring him in out from the cold. He's not been in a Boro squad for quite a long time, and we'll bring him in as well. So a bit frustrating that we've had to drop McNair and Saville because of this phantom international break. But other than that, it is going to be our best team as you were. Akpom starting again. Big game this, potentially the biggest of the season. Let's do it.
Can do here. Adam Clayton. Daniel Crowley. Well, for Middlesbrough, a very good victory in the last game against Derby County. What can we expect today, Lee?
Well, it was an easy 3-1 away win in their last game. Will they win today? I'm not so sure. I'm going to go for a draw.
Good play this from Birmingham, and they're in with Crowley. And oh, that's a big chance he's missed there.
No, Derek, just a real lack of composure in the
What a
end.
big early chance in this huge game. But Crowley puts it wide. Bit of a let-off there.
Daniel Crowley. An attack full of promise.
Crowley skipping past a number of Boro defenders. Oh, and a save!
Well, he's given a corner, the referee.
Sanchez seemed to be blocked off with no route to goal, but a quick turn. Caught Bettinelli. Slightly off guard, but he still made the save. Birmingham, though, you could argue, have started this game slightly better than us.
And now the delivery.
Corner's not a good one. And again, neither is Roberts' touch.
Ivan Sanchez.
As we could have been away, cross comes in again. And this time, I think Roberts might get us away on the counter-attack. Here's Tav. Looking to see if he can find Akpom, but Ali Dean is there again as Birmingham continue to thwart every attack.
Well, they must exercise caution standing off as they are.
Wing to Roberts, who is facing another Roberts, a much bigger Roberts. Akpom holds it up, plays it out to Lewis Wing, it's deflected off the bar! Inches away from taking the lead.
Well, I thought that was
As
the lead
Wing's
right
shot
there,
was
but
deflected and it could have went anywhere.
close.
But instead it caught the bar and stayed out. These fine margins as Birmingham now go up the other end.
No nonsense clearance.
And Tamori heads clear, but that
Josh McEachran.
was incredibly close.
Boro moving the ball forward. What can they do from here?
Wing to Akpom, Akpom to Roberts. Roberts to Balassi. Beautiful build-up play, but a good save by the keeper. As we come back again with another cross. And it's headed clear as Wing tries to hold off Crowley, but is tackled. Great football, but the keeper was equal to it. And here come Birmingham, but he's offside, Bella. And it's a good job. Oh, I tell you what, we can't quite see from that angle, but just offside. Good play from Balassi, although his cross is headed away and not cleared too far as Tavernier looks to get another shot in, but that will be the last act of the first half.
Well, the managers will now deliver their half-time team talks. We're at the end of 45 minutes.
Interesting half.
Well, he's got a few things right in this first half, but not everything.
Well, it's not been a great first half of football as far as he's concerned. He seemed a little bit sluggish to me, Derek. Easy for the back line to pick him up. Needs more movement.
Not much between the teams at all. Birmingham did have the better start, created more chances, but we arguably came closer, hitting the bar.
Now they get the ball rolling.
And have had the better chance. It's 0-0, which I think favours us more than it does them.
Oh, but he's...
Big half of football, this. What one goal could do to our season is
Lewis
huge. Wing.
A pretty ordinary challenge.
Dummies McEachran. Tries to get a shot away. Birmingham, though, as you can understand, under Karanka, very solid defensively. That's up against former Boro legend George Friend.
That ball played in rather well.
Cross comes in and
The referee is quite right.
Marcy with the shot there.
Well, this really ought to be a championship game to savour. It's live on EA TV. It's Middlesbrough versus Luton Town.
Yeah, Derek, should be a great atmosphere there. It's one I would be tuning in for if I wasn't there with you.
A lot of men forward. Good ball into Sanchez. What a save!
Oh, and does he?
Marcus Bettinelli has just completely earned his value right there. Great ball in, and he saved it with his waist. That one was great play from Birmingham, but equally, what a big save from Bettinelli. That is a huge save, but it could be undone here as the corner comes in. Crowley looking to get another cross in, which he does. Hall heads that one clear. Ooh, and the volley's straight back in at him. Just about deals with it as his clearance was initially blocked. And now Spence with a great ball forward picks out Yannick Bolasie, who is in space on his own, trying to find someone in support, but it's Sanchez who's back of all people to defend.
Ivan Sanchez. This might be ideal for the counter.
Here's Djukovic.
Crowley.
Birmingham looking threatening now.
Well, they keep working away, looking for
Colin.
passing lanes.
Crowley. Back to Colin.
And he read it superbly.
Cross wasn't a good one. As we look to free Bolasie again, who's looking to take advantage of George Friend on this right hand side. Bolasie cuts inside, has the shot, and it's at the side netting.
Narrowly wide, Derek. Decent effort. He smashed it.
Yeah, maybe a bit optimistic there from Bolasie, but wasn't far away.
And it's Djukovic.
Lovely play again as Crowley working off Djukovic, does get past Grant Hall, and Bettinelli is there again. They're playing it into Djukovic, they've got runners off him, and I tell you what, Bettinelli has made two phenomenal saves in this game. Two huge saves. Former Boro man Adam Clayton makes way, but as we know, one goal either way will either send us clear of Birmingham or have them right back on our tail. The margins here are unbelievably small, and Bettinelli has just kept us level.
Well, look at those stats, Derek. The host dominating possession over the last 15 minutes.
Crowley, and another save! Djukovic this time.
He was so sharp, the goalkeeper there, wasn't he?
This has got to be Bettinelli's performance of the season. He's saving absolutely everything. Birmingham have stepped it up in the second half and have been the better team, but they still cannot get past our keeper. Corner.
And he's fired over the corner.
Not good. The clearance isn't good either, though. It's out to Harley Dean.
Mark Roberts.
The centre-backs are the two that have got the ball here for Birmingham, as they'll probably want to find an attack. A good ball in! And I think Tamori just put him off enough. Maybe got the touch. 5 saves he's made today. But it's another corner for Birmingham, who are looking the more likely at this moment. Corner. Again, it's not beat the first man, but the clearance is not good enough once again. Roberts does get a touch on that, but it still stays with a man in blue and white, San Jose. On the left. We just need to weather this storm. Tamori tries to play out Morsey. Doesn't find him. And Tamori sticks a leg out. As we finally hoof the ball clear. But we cannot keep it. Birmingham are all over us. And we're hanging on here. Another good ball over the top. And Bella, thankfully, is offside again. We can just take this second to breathe.
Hall. Going well.
Hall.
Roberts. And space to cross
Marvin Johnson.
And the keeper won't be complaining.
Cross isn't good enough.
Poor quality.
Sums up our game so far, although Djukovic just gave it straight back to Morsey. Oh, Roberts. Oh, Roberts, this is beautiful stuff from Patrick Roberts, but a save! As we remind Birmingham that we still have a threat at the other end. This game's on a knife edge, but which way is it going to go? Minutes to go in this huge game. A 0-0 would arguably be better for us than it would be for Birmingham, because our gap over them remains the same. I think for us it's a game we'd rather just not lose, whereas I think Birmingham, it's a game that they must win. And if we could sucker punch them with a last minute goal here, it would almost end it here, as Fletcher almost skips through. 5 minutes for someone to take this playoff race by the throat, and George, friend of all peoples, gave the ball back. Jed Spence with a cross. Fletcher! A huge header from Ashley Fletcher might just guarantee our place in the playoffs. A bullet header. And it was George, friend of all people, who gave the ball away. Birmingham players. Head in the hands. Oh, the keeper should be saving it. What's he doing? Oh dear, what's the keeper doing? The goalkeeper should be saving it. I don't know what he's doing. But in the 90th minute, have we just guaranteed our place in the playoffs? We've been second best. We've not been at it. Birmingham have had so many chances and Bettinelli's made so many saves. And it could be heartbreak for the Brummies. We've hit the 95th minute. The referee is going to allow them to play on. Are they going to get one more chance here? We need to defend for our lives. Djukovic, a man they probably want in the box, is forced wide. And that is it. The biggest 3 points of the career mode. We've stolen the 3 points from Birmingham, and perhaps we've stolen the playoff place as well.
A really good game, Derek.
And the final analysis,
that man come on with his one and only attempt.
Well, he did have a good performance, didn't he? But it's all about snatching that late goal to grab the win.
I mean, the header was straight at the keeper. He should have saved it. And that's the difference. We had a keeper who made some incredible saves. Their keeper flapped at it when it mattered the most, and we've went to St Andrews, our biggest rival in the playoffs, and we've beat them. Huge win. We beat Birmingham by 1-0. Let's see where we are in the table. Well, that was a moment like no other, and it is a goal that not only puts the gap between us and Birmingham to 8 points, but it also is a goal that lifts us above Brentford and in to 5th place. It's exactly what we wanted to do and went out looking to do at the start of the episode, and it's exactly what we've done. 8 points clear of Birmingham, 9 points clear of Blackburn, with now Brentford in between us. And next up, Brentford have Nottingham Forest. So another opportunity for us to take advantage of the teams around us because they're playing each other. Next up, Nottingham Forest play Brentford, and if Brentford can get a result, and we can too, we could overtake Nottingham Forest into 4th, which would be absolutely incredible. However, their game in hand might actually be before then, and it is. So on the 31st of March, Forest Norwich have their respective games in hand. Forest go to Reading, who are in the bottom 3, and Norwich go to Stoke, who are in 9th. So I'll skip ahead to the 31st of March just so we can have one last look at the table before we end the episode. So the teams around us had their games in hand, and let's see how they got on. So of course Forest went to Reading, who are in the bottom 3 or in and around the bottom 3, and they drew. So Forest dropped points away at Reading. Norwich, though, did beat Stoke, which means that Forest are only 2 points ahead of us. Norwich are 5 points ahead of us. So, yeah, we could take advantage of Nottingham Forest playing Brentford next time out when the two play one another. As for us, another very successful episode. The momentum towards the playoffs keeps on building. And I think since we've solidified the defence, kept the goals going in, we've just been able to put in such a run, and now we've been unbeaten in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 17 league games unbeaten, which is a run that I'm hoping will keep taking us all the way. But until next time, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, do hit that like button, do subscribe to the channel for much more, and leave a comment too if you're enjoying the series, of course. And we'll be back next time for Luton at home before we then go to 2nd in the table, Bournemouth. Another huge challenge as this playoff push continues to come to its end, and we're looking pretty good at the minute, but we've got to keep this going. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Up the Boro!